January 1942. In the streets of Tokyo, victory fever is at its peak. Japan is an unstoppable octopus, its tentacles stretching across the Pacific. But aboard the mighty battleship Yamato, one man isn't celebrating. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, the architect of Pearl Harbor, is a realist trapped in a nation of dreamers. He knows a secret. Japan has maybe a year and a half of glory left. We must get a peace agreement by then, he confides to a friend. His plan? To win one more spectacular victory, so decisive that America would have no choice but to negotiate, but his grand plan for a knockout blow at Midway goes up in flames. 4 Japanese aircraft carriers are sunk. The news is so devastating, the high command hides it, even from their own army. Humiliated and desperate to regain the initiative, Japan looks south. Their new goal, to strangle Australia. And the key? A grubby, humid, jungle-choked island where they're building an airfield. Its name, Guadalcanal. Meanwhile, in Washington, the Americans know they have to hit back, and fast. But they are desperately unprepared. Their commander, Admiral Gormley, is pessimistic. Their amphibious forces are green. Their rehearsal for the invasion is a complete bust. And their carrier commander, Admiral Fletcher, is so nervous about losing his ships he announces he'll abandon the troops on the beach after just 48 hours. So begins the greatest gamble of the Pacific War. A fleet of 75 American ships, carrying 17,000 Marines, steams toward Guadalcanal. They are a knife pointed at the heart of Japan's southern empire. And incredibly, the Japanese have no idea that coming at 6 a.m., the silence of the Solomon Islands is shattered. American bombs and shells tear into the Japanese bases. On Guadalcanal itself, the Marines wade ashore to nothing. They find half-eaten bowls of rice, abandoned tents. The enemy has vanished into the jungle. It seems too easy. But just across the channel, on the islands of Tulagi, Gavutu, and Tanambogo, it's a different war. Here, the Americans meet the real Imperial Japanese Army. Not construction workers, but veterans who would rather die than surrender. They fight from caves, from dugouts, from the wrecks of seaplanes. The fighting is savage, hand-to-hand, and unforgiving. This is where the myth of Japanese invincibility is tested against American tenacity. And it's where the Marines learn a brutal new rule of war. In the Pacific, there is no such thing as a safe surrender. As the Marines fight for every inch of ground, another battle rages in the skies. And the Americans have a secret weapon, the Coast Watchers. These brave men, hidden behind enemy lines, radio a simple, priceless warning. 24 bombers headed yours. For the first time, the Japanese are not striking from the shadows. They are flying into a trap. American Wildcats pounce, shooting their clumsy Betty bombers out of the sky. But the Japanese Zero fighter is a different beast, faster, more agile. It's in these swirling dogfights that American pilots, flying their tough but clunky Wildcats, learn to fight smart, stick together, hit hard, and let the Zero's fragility be its downfall. Just as the Americans gain the upper hand, disaster strikes from within. Admiral Fletcher, true to his word, pulls his carriers away. The invasion fleet is now naked, exposed, without air cover. And at that very moment, a deadly force is speeding toward them down a narrow channel the Americans will soon call the Slot. Vice Admiral Gunichimikawa sees his chance. He leads a powerful fleet of cruisers on a daring nighttime dash. His plan, a surprise attack, a Japanese specialty, to smash the American transports on the beach. And here, the American gamble almost collapses into catastrophe. A simple, fatal mistake. The most obvious approach to Guadalcanal, the Slot, was left completely unsearched. No one was watching. As night falls on August 8th, the Marines on shore feel a flicker of hope. They have their beachhead. They have the airfield. But out there, in the dark, silent waters of Iron Bottom Sound, history is closing in. The battle for the island has just begun, but the fight for the sea, a fight they didn't know was coming, is about to unleash a storm of steel and fire.